I won't go.
All right, serious conversations only, academic. I love it. Let's do it. Here's a claim I'm going to make, and I'll substantiate it. You guys follow Uthman's Quran and Uthman's Islam. You have nothing to do with Muhammad or any divine source from Allah. You just decided to follow some caliph. And to substantiate it, I will sit down and say that if you're aware of what the Ahruf are, which your scholars don't know what the Ahruf are anyways, although Uthman's Quran or Musaf had only one out of the seven Ahruf. So Uthman decided to sit down and chuck aside 6 out of the 7 of Allah's revelations. He decided to burn everybody else's copies. He decided to get rid of the original Quran, I call it, / Musaf, because it differed from his relatives did it actually. So those are my claims. So what you got is you're following Uthman, Prophet Uthman, and his Islam. What would you like to say?
Yeah, so I'm going to need you to recapitulate that claim. I'm going to need to hear. No, I need you to give me the P, not P, and a conclusion that follows.
Okay, but by the way, it's not recapitulate. Oh, good Lord, the vocabulary on you guys. Okay, so here's what it is. Pay attention. I made a claim, and my argument is that you do not follow anything from Muhammad. You follow Uthman's Islam and Quran. My claim was based on the Ahruf. The Ahruf being revelation sent down from Muhammad. And if you agree that those revelations are directly from Allah, and if those 6 out of the 7 Ahruf was set aside when Uthman standardized his Quran, then that means you are no longer verbatim words of Allah. Your Quran is a standardized version of whatever Uthman wanted to decide. He wasn't a prophet. He didn't get wahi. So he doesn't, no one told him that you can only choose 1 out of 7, which 1 out of 7, and you can disregard 6 out of 7 of Allah's revelations. There is my case for you. What say you?
Beautiful. Thank you for recapitulating.
That's not recapitulating. Stop using the word incorrectly, please. Seriously.
Thank you for coherently
reasserting. You can say that recapitulating.
The P, not P. Thank you. Since I gave you plenty of time to speak, would you please mute up for me
Sure,
so I can get my refutation? Absolutely. I dearly hope that you won't interrupt me. So
no, I'll mute up.
I'm going to actually formulate the argument for you because it is a coherent argument and it targets one of the most debated issues in the Quran. Yes, you're correct, regarding textual history. Now, whether your argument succeeds or not depends on how the doctrine of the Ahruf is understood. Your argument is this. Premise 1. Muhammad said the Quran was revealed in 7 Ahruf. Premise 2. Each harf was a legitimate revelation from Allah. Premise 3. Uthman ibn Affan standardized the Quran to 1 harf and ordered other written materials destroyed. Therefore, the conclusion that follows is Muslims today possess only 1 of Allah's revealed ahruf, while 6 revealed forms are no longer preserved. Therefore, today's Quran is not the entirety of what Allah revealed to Muhammad. Now this is a real line of criticism. I can tell you've been listening to a lot of Christian apologists. But as a Sunni Muslim myself, I want to challenge premise 3, or the inference from it. Because the 7 Ahruf were temporary divinely permitted modes of recitation for ease among the different Arab tribes. This is going to be my first justification for why I reject premise 3. My second justification is going to be Uthman did not abolish revelation. He preserved one of the revealed Ahrufs. And this is going to be according to multiple Ijma consensuses of scholars, and it's going to be of the dialect of the Quraysh, with the agreement of the Prophet's companions. Since each harf was equally revealed, sir, preserving 1 fully preserved the Quran's message, and the others were arbitrated. They were not corrupted. Now, what is your response?
Great. So I'm going to first state that everything you just said was completely made up. You have no evidence for any of them. Let's start with you said that it was the Ahruf were temporary. I challenge you to show me the evidence in your hadith, in your sunnah, where it sits down and says that Muhammad said these were only temporary. Rather, I have your hadiths where Muhammad says that when he was given 1, he asked for several more because he kept on asking till 7 because he says it'll be an ease for my nation. It'll make it easier for my nation. So if he's asking for things to make it easier for his nation, how in the hell do you think he would agree to it being only temporary? So it's only temporarily being easy for his nation, for the Ummah? Suddenly the Ummah gets bright and can understand 1 out of the 7 would be enough? No. So I will show you evidence that what you just said, you just made up about the temporary stuff. What is the next one? You said Uthman did not destroy other mushafs. He sure did. If you know who Abu Bakr is the first caliph. The first caliph compiled for the very first time in 632. He compiled the Quran. I just call it Quran loosely, but mushaf. And he had Zayd bin Thabit do it 25 years before Uthman. And it is in your scholarship where it says that Uthman's relative Marwan came and destroyed the original Quran. You guys have a habit of burning and destroying things, and did it because he feared there would be differences between Uthman's Quran and Abu Bakr's Quran. So there's already differences, and to hide those differences, he took the copy, not the original. He took the copy as the one that should lead Muslims, not the original. So you burnt off the original. So that's all as far as Uthman did not destroy. Al-Haruf are dialects. Again, your scholarship says anybody who says Al-Harufs are dialects or qirats, quote, are illiterate and ignorant. The reason why it cannot be dialects, they say, is because the very first time the Al-Haruf was introduced into the conversation by Muhammad, it was because there were two people who came in and complained, Sahabas, that they were reciting it differently. Those two people in question were from Quraysh, and the scholarship says they only had one dialect. So it cannot be possible that the differences were dialectical. Okay, I have proof of that too from your scholarship. Next, companions agreed. Okay, so Ibn Masud, who was one of the four that Muhammad said that if you want to learn the Quran, learn from him. He sat down and said that what Uthman's Quran is not the valid Quran. He told people, in fact, do not send my Mus'haf to him. Keep it around. You'll be in paradise. You'll be rewarded for that. He did not agree with Uthman. So companions did not agree. There were quite a bit of them. Ibn Masud, Ubay bin Ka'b, among the four that Muhammad says if you got to learn the Quran from. So everything you just said, I challenge you to show me actual evidence. I will, on the other hand, show you evidence. And okay, so now, thank you for your being patient. Now, go ahead and show us the evidence for the four claims you made. Watch, it'll never come.
Yes, so regarding showing you where Muhammad said the seven Aruf were temporary, that's going to be the hardest part. Okay, now I'm going to agree that there is no authentic hadith in which Muhammad explicitly says verbatim, which that's going to be a verbatim fallacy and an exact word fallacy. The seven Aruf are only temporary and will later be reduced to one. I'm an honest person. I do not lie about such things. So this is what I'm telling you. The Sunni position about this temporary concession is an inference made by later scholars, Ibn al-Jazari and Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. They discuss this as an explanation for Uthman's recension, but I agree, it was not stated explicitly. So I concede to that. Number two, about the Muhammad asked for more Aruf to make it easier for the Ummah. This is supported by authentic hadith. Sahih Muslim, Sahih Al-Bukhari, both. Muhammad repeatedly asked for additional Aruf because that would make recitation easier. Okay. Now, what you're saying is that if Allah granted seven for the lasting benefit of the Ummah, why would six later become unnecessary? That is going to be both a philosophical and theological argument, and the hadith itself does not answer it. I will concede on that point. When it comes to Uthman destroyed other mushafs, historically you are correct. The early Islamic sources, including Bukhari, state that Uthman ordered other codices or written materials to be burned or destroyed after producing the standardized copies. We all know this, but I'm just going to want to make noted that these were private codices or copies containing variant readings, not different Qurans. Okay. Once again, variant readings, not totally different Qurans. When it comes to Marwan destroying Abu Bakr's codex, this is also found in early Islamic literature, as we all know. Okay. Now, traditionally, the reason given is precisely this: to prevent disputes after the Uthmanic recension had become standard. Okay. I'm just going to say that the contents had already been preserved in the Uthmanic text, so it is what it is. Now, on the claim of Arufs are not dialects, that's going to be completely nuanced, and there has never been a unanimous scholarly definition of the seven Arufs. Okay? Now, a lot of popular people say that seven dialects, but many classical authorities rejected that explanation as too simplistic. You are correct in what you stated, and I appreciate that. When it comes to Ibn Masud rejecting the Uthmanic's codex, this is also supported by early reports. Okay? So, there was a real disagreement in the early period. However, Masud reconciled with the community over that dispute, and it did not persist. So whether that reconciliation is historically certain, once again, that's going to be debated. Now, this is going to be, when regarding your, there was unanimous companion consensus, that's going to be weak. Okay, I don't know why you threw that in there. You need to take that out. Don't ever say that again, because there's going to be historical records containing that there was disagreement from who? Ibn Masud and Ubay ibn Ka'b. So these disagreements were temporary once again, and the consensus was eventually reached. But you have some really, really genuine questions here, and it's a little bit above my pay grade, and I'll admit that.